Calm down. Surely there's a reasonable explanation for this.
You can stick your reason up your ass. I told you something like this would happen. We never should have stopped bringing the offerings.
Your offerings are a blasphemy before God, and this is his punishment. I won't...
What's going on here?
As you can see, something slaughtered all these cows.
Not just something. It was that creature from hell. I saw with my own eyes how it fled back to its hole in the mine.
Give it a rest, would you?
I won't. What'll happen when that monster comes for us next?
Seems we've been fortunate running into you then, eh?
I'm Henry of Scallis.
I'm Marion, the local priest. You look like someone who knows how to fight and isn't scared off all that easily. Just the kind of man for the job.
Tell me what happened from the beginning. What killed those cattle?
I was in my cottage when I heard such strange noises. It made my skin crawl. So I went out and saw this. And that beast what did it running away. How am I supposed to make a living now? These cows were my most treasured possessions.
What sort of strange noises did you hear? Can you describe them in some way?
It was like someone dragging chains along the ground. Neither men nor wolves make them kinds of noises. And demons carry chains so they can catch sinners with them. Everyone knows that.
And what about you? Did you hear it too?
Unfortunately, no. I was in the church when Vladimir sent for me, saying they'd found those carcasses.
Didn't you say you saw someone running away from here?
Not someone, but something. A monster from hell itself.
Just an old wives' tale.
I swear by all that's holy, the beast ran from here straight back to the old mine.
What did the beast look like?
I only saw it from afar. But before it got lost in the thicket, I saw its giant pointed snout.
Couldn't it have just been an animal? Maybe a wolf or a boar?
Can't you see my poor girls here? What kind of wolf would leave wounds like these? Oh, and the monster ran on 3 legs.
3 legs?
Aye, as sure as my name's Vladimir.
You mentioned a pit of hell. Is that located somewhere around here?
That's just a local fable.
It's no fable. In the days when silver was mined here, terrible misfortune took place in the mine. A pit to hell itself opened up there.
The mine shuttering fell apart and the gallery collapsed. That's all.
Shuttering my arse! It was a pit to hell! Shuttering don't just blow up on its own. But hell didn't scare good old Father Richard, so he set off into the tunnels and struck a deal with them demons. Ever since then, we brought food to the mine for them every second Sunday, and they leave us in peace in return.
Father Richard was a crackpot. You're lucky to finally have a normal priest here now.
A priest who forbade us from bringing the offerings, and now you can both see where that's got us.
Has anyone actually looked around in the mine?
Only old Father Richard. Nobody else has ever had the courage. The very mine shaft stinks like hell itself. So we only ever lower a bucket down with the offering, and then clear off quick.
After the cave-in, the miners left to work in Grund. Seems they'd no longer felt the vein was worth the trouble here.
When did all this happen?
It's got to be at least 5 years now.
And you've been taking food there ever since?
That's right. And nothing's ever happened until now. All because our new priest here forbade us from bringing offerings.
Where's Father Richard now?
He returned to his maker not long ago. And now I preach here in his place. The moment I caught word of that foolish superstition, I put a stop to any offerings.
And you can see what that caused.
It's only happenstance. This isn't the first, nor the last time that wolves dare to venture into town.
Vladimir's right. It doesn't look like it was the work of wolves. I don't know what could have done it, but wolves don't make those kind of wounds.
You hear that, Father? And that's coming from someone who's been out and seen the world.
This whole thing is very odd. How do you want me to help?
The massacre of those cattle is a horrible thing. But the heresy that's been tolerated here on account of the former priest is even worse.
Old Father Richard would chase you out of town, you stuffed frock.
Marion may be young, but he's still a priest, and he deserves a bit of respect.
Thank you, Henry. Since you're the only one here uninvolved, I'd like you to go into the old mine and discover the truth of this old wives' tale.
And while you're there, take some peace offering with you. Otherwise, I wouldn't even dare going.
What am I to do with you? All right. Henry, take their offering with you as well. You'll do just as those wretches did before you, and then wait to see if any demons show their faces or not.
Wait for demons? You want to send the poor fella to his death?
Don't listen to him, Henry. Faith in God will protect you. But before you go through the mine, we'll have a look around the village. Then we'll all meet at the entrance to the mine.
All right, I'll help you. But what about the offering?
A bit of food will do. Here you go. We always lowered the food down in a bucket. The main thing is not to go down the shaft yourself, lest you anger hell.
Don't be frightened. It's just an old shaft.
You'll find it to the west of here. The whole area's deserted and most of the entrances are blocked off. You go past the mine buildings until you reach the one that's collapsed to the ground. The mine entrance is next to it. Good luck, lad. You're going to need it.
God be with you.
Poor girls. What did you ever do to anyone?
Such a shame.
I decided to atone for my sins, Father.
First, complete the previous pilgrimage. Till we meet again.
Don't you know how to keep your horse under control? You almost ran me over.
It really does smell like hell here. Might there be some truth? Oh, Jesus. What a diabolical stink. Right then, let's see if we can't lure the devil out. What the... Where am I? And where did all my things go? Jesus, what the fuck is going on here?
Terribilis Deus, the sanctuary of
Who goes there? I am the shield of gods, demon. I am Taras.
Vade Satana! Inventor et magister omnis fallatiae, hostes humanae salutis.
His blood will be on his own head.
Ugh, Jesus. His helmet's completely stuck. I can't get it off. What's this? Did the knight write this? Christ. He went completely mad. I suppose it's good that he's dead. Looks like some kind of contract. Must be important if he locked it away. The knight's been guarding this place against demons. It's written here that someone is supposed to come and take his place. But who? More entries. Also written by the knight? The pit to hell, and that knight was guarding it.
Henry, what happened down there?
A mad knight lived down in the mine. He must have completely lost his head and killed your cattle.
A knight? In the mine?
Where's he now?
He's dead. We fought, and I won. His name was Taras Mura. After the accident in the mine, Taras entered into a contract with Father Richard to guard the mine. He spent 5 whole years underground and watched over the pit of hell to ensure nothing ever came crawling out. The locals then brought him food in return.
We never knew anything about a contract.
Father Richard must have feared the locals wouldn't agree to such a thing. So he came up with the contract to guard the pit of hell.
It's true. Father Richard was the only one who knew about Taras.
So this whole time, we haven't been feeding demons, but a knight who was protecting us from them?
And everything was fine until I forbade you. I can't believe I'm to blame for the death of a good Christian. I'll never forgive myself for as long as I live.
Well, you couldn't have known. But it looks like you won't have anyone to punish for the slaughtered cattle.
If the knight was protecting us and now he's dead, what will happen to us now? Who'll protect us from hell?
You should place your faith in God and not try to appease hell. Instead, be good Christians under Father Marion's guidance.
Thank you, Henry. As it is written in the Bible, believe, and your faith will save you. Hellish forces have no power over good Christians.
Father Marion, forgive me for doubting you. We'll go and pray, and never again will we take anything to the mine.
We'll have the mine filled in, along with the pit of hell beneath it. And you, Henry, are due a reward. Here you are. Go with God. I'll take care of the rest here on my own. I'll put in a good word for you to the other priests in the region. Anthony of Visoka and Hrosnata of Rabosh could both teach you something.
Thanks.
Have a bowl as well. Sound as a bell.
Smells like trouble to me.
Or the tip of his nose, so we don't stick it.
Good morning to you.
I'd like to learn something.
What do you want to know?
It's filthy again. Thanks. And have a nice day, friend.
Eating like Max.
Time it was his daughter, wasn't it? Or grandma.
So not just a swindler, but a liar to boot. Just you wait, you sack of shit. I'll rip out your tongue and throw it to the dogs.
Good doggy.
Please!
Good boy.
You can't do that! Help me! Somebody help!
To end well.
Go to hell.
What are you doing?
You'll be fucking sorry.
Nice hit!
My God! A fool!
Hold your arse off!
No chance.
Fuck you! Slice him up!
Fucking bastard!
Ain't had enough yet! Jesus, I'm hit!
Why did you do that?
I'll rip your arse open!
Too slow.
I'll be done with you in a flash!
That madman! Why'd he do it?
I'm sorry.
Whether it rains or pours, stopping here is never a chore. Greetings. I'll be with you in just a moment. Pleasure doing business. God be with you.
I found out some interesting things about those murders. Just like you said.
That's wonderful news. But wait a while. I promised Catherine we'd wait for her.
You know Catherine?
She came to see me soon after you did, and started asking me questions. Just like you.
Will you send for her? So, we're all here.
I hope nobody else shows up. How did it go?
I reckon I've found out all I can.
And do you know who the murderer is?
Not exactly, but I have a few ideas.
I've asked around a bit, and I have my own suspicions.
Is that so? See, I was trying to recall some more details, and I had someone come to mind as well.
I didn't do all this for nothing, did I?
Well,
Well? Who do you suspect now?
well, I'd say William did it. The minstrel.
You can't be serious. He's innocent.
Uh-huh. And who do you think it was?
Prokop. I'm sure of it.
No. Really? That's impossible. It couldn't have been him.
So I see we disagree. Too bad. We could have been done with it quickly.
Well, who do you think it was then?
I'm not entirely sure. First, I'll tell you what I found out, and then it might be easier for us.
Go on then. Starting with who?
Let's talk about Yarka, the one raised by Father Prokop.
What did you learn about her?
Prokop didn't just raise her out of the goodness of his heart. He was actually her uncle.
Really? But he still could have killed her.
His own relative?
Why not? He's a priest. I'm sure he knows the story of Cain and Abel.
Yarka started working for the von Grolla family, where she remained until her death.
I was there to ask whether she'd given them any trouble, but they said she was always thorough and reliable.
Ah, so what's the story with von Grolls?
A very wealthy and important family. The mother is quite devout, known to spend a lot of time in prayer. Old von Grolla's been sick for years. Can't even get out of bed.
So, who runs affairs?
That would be young Hendel. They say he's quite successful.
That's all I was able to find out.
You still found out more than I did.
But it's not enough. We still don't know who the killer is.
I managed to find Stanya.
Alive? You found her alive?
I did. Alive and well. Hiding with the charcoal burners.
So, she's not one of our victims?
She is. She just managed to escape the killer. She said she was attacked on her way home from the baths. She heard somebody talking in a side street, but it was empty. But when she walked by, someone grabbed her by the throat and started strangling her.
And how did she manage to get away?
She was holding an empty pitcher, and she smashed the killer in the face with it. He either got startled or hurt, but he let her go.
Did she get a look at him? Did she take his eye out or something?
No, she didn't stop to find out. Just ran. Which is probably why she survived.
And what about the blood in the bedroom?
She cut her hand on the broken pitcher. She didn't stay in her room for long. She was still so scared that she grabbed her things and ran off to her beloved charcoal burner. She said she returned from the baths in the evening regularly, and somebody knew exactly which way she would take and where to wait for her.
You mean someone followed her beforehand to figure out where to ambush her?
Who knew that she went to the baths?
Apparently everyone in the tavern. She didn't hide the fact. She also said she was sure it wasn't Mole. He may be a pig, but the evening she ran home, he was in bed snoring. Well, according to Stanya, the murderer had a terribly strong grip. Her neck was bruised for almost a month.
Doesn't almost every man have a strong grip?
Depending on what they take in hand every day. A tankard, a quill, or a hammer.
Except none of our suspects are miners or blacksmiths, eh? According to Stanya, the murderer didn't say a word the entire time.
That's strange, right? I'd expect him to at least call her a whore.
The only word he uttered was when she smashed him in the face with the pitcher. He said Scheisse.
So, we're looking for a German?
Even I say Scheiße sometimes, and I'm not German.
Besides that, she also recalled hearing two voices in the alley. Someone was talking to the killer.
So we have a witness. Now, just to find him.
Or an accomplice. If I remember correctly, the other one must have seen the whole thing, right? And he didn't go to report it.
I asked Stanya if she knew Prokop. She said no.
Maybe she just doesn't remember him. Or he gave a different name, or...
I don't think Father Prokop is the type to frequent the worst tavern in Kuttenberg.
Stanya admitted that she knows William. He flirted with her and tried to get to know her better, but nothing came of it.
And that's probably why he wanted to kill her. And likely rape her before that.
Well, perhaps, but Stanya doesn't think so. She's sure it wasn't William, and no matter what they say about him, in her eyes he's a good lad. And that's all that Stanya told me.
I'm so glad that girl is alive.
Me too. At least someone's had a little luck. Does she want to come back, or will she stay with the charcoal burners?
I don't think she'll come back. She's so scared now they'll come back for her, she doesn't even leave the house. I managed to find Zdenna.
You found her? Is she alive too?
No. Unfortunately, she's dead.
And where did you find her?
Pretty far away. Near the mill she used to sell things at. Someone caught her in the forest when she was coming home with a load of coin and killed her. I reckon she put up a hell of a fight. So the killer got nervous and ended things quickly.
So he didn't strangle or mutilate her?
She'd been lying in the woods for a long time, so I couldn't really tell. But he definitely didn't hack her up like the others. Judging by what her accomplice said, she robbed someone good. She had so much jewelry on her, she could hardly carry it. And what's odd is when she was murdered, the killer left her basket of valuables behind.
So I reckon he didn't kill her for the money.
She said someone followed her on horseback from Kuttenberg. She tried to lose him, but apparently wasn't able to.
On horseback? I don't suppose she described him, did she?
Only as a wealthy type who never got too close.
That doesn't fit in with the previous murders.
Father Prokop came looking for Zdenna and nearly cursed her on the spot.
What did he have in common with a thief?
He had also looked after her, but unlike Yarka, she ended up on the street, and he took it badly. Ugh. My mouth is starting to hurt from all this blabbering.
So are my ears and head.
Come now, we're nearly there. We just need to find our suspect. So, Henry, who do you think did it?
I suspect William the most. He's a musician. He knew all the girls, and he's suspicious.
Sure, let's blame it on an artist.
It has to be him. Nobody else is as caught up in it as him.
William knew all the women, and when they came to see him, he hit on them, and they rejected him.
That makes a man start drinking, not kill women. If that were the case, where would the world be?
It wouldn't surprise me from a wayward soul like that. Artists commune with the devil.
I heard William was a liar and deceiver, and probably a spy.
A spy, eh?
Maybe those girls heard something they weren't supposed to, and he had to get rid of them.
Sacra. I reckon that's possible.
That sounds compelling enough to me.
Damn it! I was sure it wasn't him.
Everyone makes mistakes sometimes.
Sure. But he has such a gentle soul. What will we do with him?
I'd report him at the rat house. They've had their eyes on him for a while, so I'm sure they'll welcome the opportunity to take him down.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'll turn him in.
Oh well. What can you do?
If you wanted to, you could still kill him.
You mean so he doesn't suffer in jail?
That too.
Fine. I'll handle it somehow.
Look at this nice bun I brought. Greetings to you. You're seeing this? It happened. Just watch where you're going next time.
I know you're the one that killed those girls. Now are you going to tell me why?
What? Me? You're mad! I would never hurt anyone!
Either you confess to me willingly now, and I'll take you to the jail, or you keep denying it, and I'll end you myself.
I didn't kill them! I don't know anything! There's nothing for me to confess!
Fine. I'll let you live. For now. But if I were you, I'd go and confess to the bailiff and beg for mercy.
But it really wasn't me. You've got the wrong man. You're not going to kill an innocent bloke, are you?
Talk about the inheritance, but your father's still alive. I think the rules all over his. Doesn't get it off. The church. Once folks start getting soft in the head, it's bad news. Let me tell you, I'd rather die poor but young than to go through that.
Well, I'll be going.
Shoe repair! Repair one! What the?
Careful.
Young man,
Could you spare me a moment of your time?
What? Who left the door open? Where could he be?
Lopes I got.
You have to catch the bard, William, who plays in the Miners' Tavern.
Really? Why?
He was the one who murdered those girls.
Hold your horses. What makes you think that?
He knew 3 of those girls and was chasing after them. Or they went after him. And I heard he's quite the skirt chaser, and boasts of his exploits.
I don't know. I heard something similar in the tavern. But on the other hand, it's true that half the local gents would like to get rid of him, especially the ones with young daughters.
In fact, even Father Prokop suspected him. And you'd trust his word, wouldn't you?
That's true. Fine. Then, let's go and get that fop and interrogate him. Justice will be done.